Assalamu alaikum. Today topic is conformable mapping. First of all, we have idea about mapping. What is mapping? A mapping is a transformation from one axis to another axis. For example, if we have a axis u and another axis v, then our function map from u axis to v axis. Now we will discuss conformable mapping. What is conformable mapping? If we have a one z plane and other plane is w plane, then our transformation from z plane to w plane is called conformable mapping. What is z plane? It is complex plane. As we know that complex number z is equal to x plus iota v. It is x-axis and it is y-axis. X-axis is real axis and y-axis is imaginary axis. And w plane. In w plane we take different complex numbers u and v. U is real, so we draw it along x-axis, and v is imaginary, so we draw it along y-axis. So conformable mapping is a transformation from z plane to w plane. Mean we draw a mapping from this plane to this plane. It is called conformable mapping. We will use conformable mapping to convert our complex geometry to one that we can solve on, and then map the solution to the original geometry. Let's suppose we have any function z and f is a function. Z is along this axis, and when we apply function on this axis, then it will become another axis and it will become f of z. So we put f of z is equal to a zeta. If our axis map from this axis to this axis, then our this function will become inverse. And consider an analytic function f of z that map a point to the z plane. What is analytic function? Analytic functions mean if a function which derivative exists that map a point to the z plane. Let zeta is equal to f of z. This mapping is single valued, mean one value of z gets one value of zeta. Single valued mean function is 1 1. If one value z, then we get another value of zeta. The inverse mapping may not be a single value. Our mapping is single valued, but the inverse mapping is may or may not be single valued. Let z is equal to g of zeta is equal to inverse. We put g is equal to f inverse and zeta. If the inverse map is also single valued, then the mapping is 1 1. If sometime inverse mapping is single, sometime it may not be single valued. If inverse mapping is single, then the mapping is 1 1 mapping. We check it. We have a plane z plane and we take another plane. It's called zeta plane. We draw a point on z plane and we draw another point on zeta plane. Let's suppose z plane is equal to x plus iota y and zeta plane is equal to eta plus iota xi plus iota eta. Xi along x-axis and eta along y-axis. If we have a zeta is equal to f of z of point is lie on z plane, then its image will appear on a zeta plane. So we can check it. If this point is lie in this plane, then on zeta plane it may be lie in this quadrant. Similarly, if in z plane we have a circle, then it can be a straight line image in a zeta plane. So it's not depend upon that similar images are drawn. It's possible if in z plane circle draw, then in other plane it can be straight line, ellipse and whatever. Next point, when a mapping is not 1 1, then we take any point, it's called z naught in z plane, and our function is zeta is equal to f of z. Then its image it appear in z plane, and the point is z naught is equal to f of z naught. At this point, our image will appear in zeta plane. Some point z naught which maps to z naught is equal to f of z naught, because if f is analytic at z naught, meaning if f is analytic at this function, we can construct a Taylor series. What is Taylor series? Zeta is equal to f of z, because we have zeta is equal to f of z, and at this point we apply Taylor series, so it will become f of z naught. It is a Taylor series formula. F of z naught plus f derivative of z naught into z minus z naught plus 1 over 2 factorial f double derivative of z naught into z minus z naught square plus up to so on. And at this point zeta naught is equal to f of z naught. So zeta minus zeta naught is equal to f of z naught cancel out with f of z naught, and we have f derivative of z naught z minus z naught plus 1 over 2 factorial f double derivative of z naught z minus z naught square. We have two conditions. If f derivative of z naught is not equal to 0, then the local inverse is z minus z naught is equal to, if first condition is if first derivative is not equal to 0, then it can be 0. So if double derivative is 0 and single is not equal to 0, then this whole term will become 0. So we have just this term, and when we obtain the value of f derivative of z naught, then we have, if we want to obtain z minus z naught, then we have z minus z naught is equal to eta minus eta naught dividing by f derivative of z naught. So we have at this point just one value, so it is called single valued. If f derivative is equal to z naught is equal to 0, but double derivative is not equal to 0, then this term turns to 0. So we have just this term, z eta minus zeta minus zeta naught is equal to 1 over 2 f double derivative of z naught z minus z naught square. So this division, 2 in division, will be multiplied on this side, so it has 2 into zeta minus zeta naught and f double derivative dividing on this side. So we have this term z minus z naught ka square. When we take square root on both sides, then this square will be cancelled out and 1 by 2 is a pair in this side. So plus minus is also pair, because when we solve square root, then plus minus get. So now we can see that we have two values, one is positive and the second is negative. So if we have a more than two values, then it is a multi-valued function, not one function. So the point where f derivative of z naught is equal to 0, we turns its critical point. So it is a method of conformable mapping.